couple, like you said, it comes down to a few macro level plays. And even with the size of the goal lead and most of the game, you could see it was still competitive. It was still competitive. And it's like you said, about knowing what your win condition is, knowing what you have to do to secure the victory. And if you don't play to that, even once in the 30 minutes, if you want to call that the late game, that's spells the end for your team. And what allowed them to secure and break the base and get in there and win the game ends up being we go to Baron, they go to our mid turret, and then we come from Baron and clean them up.
Right.
So
Right.
I mean,
yeah, and it's definitely a team effort.
Hey guys, it's Weava, and welcome to the Council Training Hall. If you never caught Shoutcast Sundays, you're missing out. So if you have no idea what Shoutcast Sunday is, it's a series that we run on my channel every Sunday, and link in the description below. If you've never had the pleasure, it's a secret, but you should be there next Sunday. Coming in with a pulverize though, they're gonna get the exhaust down onto the Braum. However, Hecarim is there. He's going to chunk out. Yeah, he did live. Ophelio's getting a lot of damage out. He is ignited and gets knocked up by that Alistar. He's gonna flash out as well. He's still burning down. Gets rooted by the Jhin and picked up for first blood. Yeah, be there next Sunday. You'll catch it. But it's me and a guest, and we're gonna be shoutcasting, basically analyzing a game as we go through. Normal, you've seen LCS, you've seen LCK, all those. You know what happens. But at the end of the game, we're going to choose our MVP, and we're going to do some analysis on the game and let you know why this person's the MVP, what we think was the big swing in the game or the big thing that was missing, or what the winning team did correct to steal that game. Well, I know some people are saying, oh, well, I can just go watch LCS, and you can, but most likely they're not going to do things that you do. Yeah, the common player, like us, all these decisions that you make in games, builds, macro decisions, mechanics, things like that, like regular people. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. So the best way for you to grow is to look at people that are similar to you, your peers or your own replays, and to analyze them or have someone else do it for you. And you'll be able to grow as a player. That's what we're aiming to do here. So once again, I do stream 5 days a week on Twitch. Shoutcast Sundays, obviously on Sunday. Make sure you're there. Check it out. Link in the description below. Now, without further ado, let us get into this game.
Okay, we're good.
Cool. All right. Awesome. All right, so what are we looking at in these comps here? What's going on? What do we got?
So I'm actually interested in the Irelia Galio matchup in the mid lane. The reason is I think the trade combinations there could go either way. Galio has a really nice burst combo with his spells, but Irelia obviously has really good chase sound and follow-up. But the durability of Galio is, I think, what's really interesting in that matchup. So I kind of want to see how that's going to go early on. I think it's going to eventually become one-sided and really affect the pace of the game.
We're seeing an invade coming in from Team AE here. Descend's going to walk past this, but it looks like the Diana might get caught out.
Yeah, it kind of looks like they're heading that way.
Haven't been spotted. They are.
They don't really have like good level 1 engage though, so I mean they basically have to like walk up on them, right? So really good positioning there by the Diana though, standing in the open like that, being able to see from all sides. So I think that's a really good high level scouting position. Just so that she's able to run in either direction. Like the only way she dies there is if they somehow made a pincer move, but that obviously makes a weak side and a strong side. So really smart play there by the Diana.
Yeah, you're right. If they had invaded with something a little more, but Braum Q is about all you got there, or maybe a Camille slingshot off the wall, which kind of puts her in harm's way as well. Solid farming going on so far. Solid farming. Picking up the 5.
Yeah, the Irelia is gonna push that pretty hard. Singe is really pushing hard on that side as well. It's really interesting because the Diana is going to start on her blue side, making her way to the top side. We'll see if these waves bounce back for that clash up top. Because if the Hecarim decides to stay, there might be some early fighting up top here.
Yep, Camille going in for a little bit of damage there. Singe gonna get a little bit of trade back. And as you were saying already, while you were talking about that jungle clear there, Galio took a huge chunk of damage from the Irelia, so Wonder if that's going to be an indication of how the lane's going to go.
Early on, I think she's going to have a lot of really good trade against that Galio, especially when it comes to the burst. He doesn't quite have his level 3 combo yet for the knockup that lets him deliver that CC, that punch, and that taunt out. And so it lets him just sort of walk away from the situation. Right now, she's just going to zip around, and yeah, we see that trade going on. It gets a little bit better for Galio as the game goes on.
Alistair coming in with a pulverize though. They're gonna get the exhaust down onto the Braum. However, Hecarim is there. He's going to chunk out. Yeah, he did live. He did live. Ophelio's getting a lot of damage out. He is ignited and gets knocked up by that Alistair. He's gonna flash out as well. He's still burning down. Gets rooted by the Jhin and picked up for first blood. Everybody is a party in bot lane right now. All 5 members flashing it. Oh my goodness, the amount of damage going out there. But Hecarim is going to get picked up for a double kill, triple kill by the Jhin. That's looking really bad for Team AE. Tower dive getting set up.
Yeah, double teleports being used here. Alistar still wants more.
Alistar sacrificing himself, gonna pick up all 5 kills. That is gonna be a 5-4-1. Woo!
Yeah, really nice double teleport there. Communication from the red team. What should we call these guys? Because we got AE on the one side.
Master level players.
Master level players. I mean, these guys, the coordination, I think, from the double teleport was really good. You had the push going in from the mid and the top, as we were just talking about earlier, with Singe and Irelia pushing that lane, really allows them to be first on site to that fight. It's a really nice macro play from these master level players, being able to roam down there and get this huge game advantage, especially for, Singe top, already, fighting here with the Camille.
Yeah, no jumping out there. He's going to bait her in to keep fighting, though. He's going to get really low, but it's kind of a part of his kit. He does have her in a bad spot right now. She might go into the brush and play a little games here. The flank is going to pick her up, though, and there you go. Singe, the 1v1.
Early lead for him really allows him to abuse that lane now, where he really shouldn't be getting away with that against the Camille. She has a lot of outs, obviously, and has a way to get out of that fight if she chooses to, but that early lead from that bottom fight grabs him 3 assists, lets him come into lane with those double dark seals and the corrupting potion. Really nice start for the Singe. I think he's going to be able to abuse that Camille a lot more in lane. I mean, she has to go double Dorans coming back into lane now, just in order to survive these fights. Yep, she's
lands in. Hecarim coming in. They're setting up that gank. Gonna get the knockback. Will really be able to dash out of this. She's getting a little bit of distance. Her jungler does show up, and Diana is there to dissuade anything else. But she does go back in. This could be a poor decision by her. 3 chasing. From Q gonna land, and she's gonna go down for it. I mean, she looked like she was out.
I thought she was going to get out too, and you know what, to set up the entire thing, the Galio trade is starting to get a little bit more in his favor. Irelia is really starting to lose out as we start cresting into level 6 here in terms of her ability to abuse the lane. Just like I said before the game started, his ability to burst her and then walk away is going to get really strong around this level. She's going to need, I think, around level 10 or 11 to really start seeing that DPS matter more. But setting up that fight, I mean, she was at half, and he only lost maybe a couple hundred.
Straight trolling.
Yeah.
Straight trolling. Yeah. It's like you said, it's so bad right now. It's so bad for that Camille. Like there was no actual fighting. The Sin just stood near her, and that was all there was.
She picks up a long sword. I don't know. I didn't see how much gold she had in her pocket, but she has 21 CS to his 47. His 2 kills and 3 assists, showing really how from level 1, pushing that lane out, being able to teleport down there, get some really effective fighting going on, sets Singed up for success. She's only able to come back lane with that longsword. I don't think that's going to do anything to help with this situation.
Yep, and he doesn't even care. He's just farming, proxying, and yeah, he takes 2 tower shots there, but now he's just going to walk around, regen it up. Actually, he's going to pop a recall here, which actually is going to give the roam. It looks like Galio moving down. Possible 4-man gank.
Yeah, Galio's still behind on that CS, mostly from those early levels. He's going to start looking to fight here.
Hecarim gonna hit in. Galio is gonna fly in there, but it looks like Alistair may go down, and Alistair will get picked up there. You got the Hecarim taking that one. It puts him at a 1-1-2.
that's definitely a mistake from the side of these Masters players, mostly because the Galio roam is certainly a threat. That's something the Irelia is shouting into the mic, saying, hey, you guys need to be careful. The Galio's roaming. I'm staying. I'm not roaming. I don't have my TP up. So they needed to respect that Galio roam. Yeah, he's going to, give up some CS for it, but this is on the side of AE going to net a dragon.
Yeah, they're definitely going to pick this up, and that's going to be looking pretty good considering they have a lot of press R stuff going on their comp. So definitely think that dragon is going to come in useful for them.
Yeah, that Drake is definitely going to help out, especially when they want to, as you said, press R, that 10% cooldown on that ultimate for everyone.
Oh, Singe maybe pressing his luck here, but he does have his ultimate active. He is going to bait the Sin. Oh, his fling had to have been 1 second off.
He just needed a little bit more time getting caught in that ult, showing that it's starting to get a little bit tricky for him, especially with the Camille. I mean, she's only got a long sword and double Dorans, and is 30 CS, or no, 20 something CS behind, is still able to live with plenty of HP. Just showing that levels on Camille is a lot of damage. Oh.
Gonna get caught out in her own jungle. Diana's gonna get knocked out for a shutdown. That's net 450 gold over to the Hecarim. I was just gonna say in top lane, it was 1,000 gold difference before that kill, or after that kill, I should say. So, Singe had a lot to spend there, I think.
Yeah, what's happening here is I think A's doing a really good job at pushing in on those pressure points wherever they can grab an advantage, especially Hecarim right now being able to walk into the jungle and annihilate Diana like that, who's still only level 5. I mean, she is 2 levels behind him. He recognizes that, walks into the jungle, hunts down a kill, and walks back out.
And seeing he did that with enough confidence to realize that, you know what, Galio doesn't even have his ultimate at that point and still on cooldown from that last engage. So, like you said, he wasn't scared at all. He knew he had the level advantage. He could take her. And, at this point, the way they've changed it, I mean, it was always in her burst, but now, I mean, you need that ultimate as much damage as it does in order to even fight.
So we do have double teleport up here from Sin, from Irelia. They might be looking for that macro 5v5 play again, but I'm actually not sure at this point how well that's going to go. The reason that I say that is that Galio and Camille, even though they were behind, are now starting to get to the point where they're the points that they put into each individual skill is starting to matter, is starting to do a lot of damage. You can see this trade going on mid.
Oh, there's going to be an all-in by Irelia. Bunch of damage going out, but the Singe is going to be there. The flash is going to get pulled out. I think they're still going to go for this. They are. They're going to fling him back into the poison, and he's going to donate it over to the Irelia. The Irelia now picking up her first kill of the game.
Yeah, Camille there showing, throwing out that missing ping a little bit late.
Oh, Hecarim, you're regretting this. Oh, the flash bait. He's going to pick it up, but oh, and he lives. The Alistair, the triumphant roar saves him.
Just barely. What was that? I think that's like double-digit HP
right there. Man.
Like picking up the kill too with the W, the quick tap of that W just to get that last bit of damage in. They are going to push mid here, it seems.
Possibly get a few plates, but the Galio should make it back in time. Nope, the Diana's going to leave to go get that scuttle, I believe, to secure it. Making sure that they do have that vision there, because there is a Herald on the plate there, on the table. Anybody can take it at this point. I mean, it's very, very easy for even an 80 carry to solo it in the mid game. So, oh boy.
So that trade there was really interesting, though, from the Irelia. She has to all in. He has the chance to walk back to tower and still has half his HP. Obviously, the Singe coming back, doing the other, finishing off that Galio with the last half of his HP there. It just shows how tanky Galio is, even against an AD assassin like Irelia. He's putting he's got 2 points into Shield of Duran, so it looks like he's going to want to max that second, just finishing his as he levels.
Jin's going to blow his flash. The onslaught coming in, but they're going to be able to get it. Yes, they will secure him. Alistair's there to try and back him up, but I think that headbutt helped him out a little bit there. Galio drops in. Gonna get a taunt onto the Singe. A bunch of damage going on. Aphelios free hitting right now. Gonna pick up one. Possibly another fight going on. Another gonna get picked up. Double kill by Diana. And right now, you got the Alistair sitting under his tower. looking a little bit low. But Ophelia's gonna get out of there with.
Low.
Possibly gonna get picked up. Possibly. Oh, they stopped for the ward instead. They stopped for the ward. Yeah, it's fine. Well, I mean, Diana getting her kills, definitely needed after the way Hecarim's been treating her in the jungle. But that's gonna secure her probably, how much gold is that? 1,600 gold right now she has in her pocket to spend. So I wonder where her next item in her build is gonna be.
The double teleport play there was really good, but on the side of AE, they're coming back on the bottom side so that they can fight over this Earth Dragon that's about to pop up here. The Master players haven't had a chance to back yet, so this is kind of an awkward situation for them. They haven't had a chance to cash in from that last fight, so even though they're up ahead and they have that gold in their pocket, it's not going to show in terms of items. So this next fight's going to be really interesting because, I mean, look at these guys hovering around just to make sure that Earth Dragon is secured here. Irelia is going to go back mid to try and draw pressure, but they need a chance to go back and reset the map.
It's a good point that you make on that master level player team. You are looking at a gold difference of about 600 in everybody's pocket or more. Right now, the Diana's sitting on 2,000. That's a lot.
Wow. Yeah, just I mean, they are going to start Dragon right now. They're going to. Let's see if we get movement here. Nope.
No, they're just going to play it safe. They're not. Yeah. I don't think, which is funny, as you said it, there's times in the game when you're going to feel like, hey, we're really behind. But as you said, they didn't get to spend any of that gold. So technically the gold is even, or was even.
Right, and the only reason I think that AE didn't start that fight there was because the Aphelios was low. He did heal up quite a bit. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Diana's going to pick up one. Oh, boy. The Galio going back in, confident that the Camille's showing up. Now remember, this is a 1-in-3 Camille with a Tiamat and a Sheen, but Alistar's gonna get locked up. The Braum is gonna join the fight, and they're gonna donate that one over to Camille. Get her back in this game. That's definitely what AE needs to do in order to get ahead in this game. The Galio is going to fall off slightly in damage here, especially in terms of trying to lock down damage in a lot of these fights. You have the mobility of Diana. Sinja's running around.
Oh my goodness, that's a greedy dive. Diana's gonna get that, and I don't think Braum is going to be able to drop her. I mean, I could be wrong here. Oh, he does get it with the Q, but he's gonna take two needless shots. He could have walked back through the turret there, but he does get the shutdown. Singe catching himself in a little bad spot here. He does have his ultimate active. They don't have the lockdown for him, I don't believe. Yeah, he's gonna get away. He's doing Singe things. Whatever. He's Singed. Who cares? Who cares?
The play is still live. It looks like Alistar and Irelia still want to get this chase down.
Oh boy, Hecarim. Pulverize, casual walk away. Yep, and a Singe.
Just on the wrong side of the map there. I mean, he needed to slow the game down just a little bit more. AE's looking for that time in order to start making sure this Camille gets online, making sure that the Galio is able to. Oh jeez, Irelia getting the flash. They just need to slow the game down. I'd like to see some more warding from Alistar as he roams around the map. We have 3 pings on the map, but you know, a couple of them are in spots that aren't that useful and revealing. And so AE needs to just get vision on the map, slow the game down, wait for the next big objective in order to get back into this game. And I think what the master level players need to do here is to accelerate the game. They need to start looking for these fights. It looks like Teleport's going to be back from Singed and Irelia, who have synced teleports at this point. And since the start of the game, have been using them really effectively.
Oh, yeah, as I say, as you just pointed out, the comment I was going to make was, yeah, that's been a go button for them every single time they've had their dual teleports available. They've been able to do a lot with them. Initially, the first time picking up 5 kills, basically a full ace at only a few minutes into the game. So I think that, like you said, is going to be a huge trigger for, well, in 3 minutes you have Baron coming up. So if they don't take that Rift Herald, definitely looking out for at least a Baron play.
Yeah, we have a lot of really good, you know, aggressive, meaningful wards coming out on the side of these master level players, trying to push that map, you know, the game forward, trying to push their positions forward. It looks like they have Irelia and Singed on opposite sides of the map, which I actually like because their teleports are about to be up, so they can join the center fight if they need to.
Aurelia gonna try and all in onto this Hecarim. Hecarim gonna use his ult to just secure the Scuttle Crab. I don't know if that was the best. He's gonna get picked up easily by this Aurelia. And now Aurelia probably gonna clean up this Camille as well.
Stun.
That was a pretty good stun. I don't even think that was in vision. Oh, Jin gonna pick it up. Gonna curtain call that one. But Singe and, oh my, get in Diana. There we go. The throwback. Diana gonna do a huge amount of damage here. Gonna dash over, gonna finalize the Braum. And it looks like the rest of them are pretty scared of this Jin walking. I mean, hey, 5-1-4. I guess you should be.
Really like this play from the master level players. Trying, again, accelerating the game forward, diving.
Full all in. Fling. You got no business being there. Gets the block onto the Galio punch. That was a great play there.
These guys are thinking about ending the game. I mean, they have a Jin, and so as far as ADC DPS goes, he is going to fall off a little bit, provide a little bit of burst damage for the DPS that's seen on Diana and Irelia.
Pulverize is going to miss on there, the Onslaught of Shadows. Oh, it wasn't even Onslaught of Shadows, just as E.
Again.
Yeah. Donate. We call that
again.
Donations.
Yeah, at this point, he is not performing well. 7 deaths in. At the beginning of the game, he had some really smart, aggressive plays. He needs to realize that he needs to slow down as this game progresses.
Aurelia gonna get caught out here trying to take the Rip Herald. She possibly could win. I think she's waiting for cooldowns now. Gonna kite for a little bit of HP. Galio coming. Grand entrance. Oh! Dash away the minion. Ooh! Raptor's gonna pick her up. And Alistair, we've seen this tons of times in games. The support goes in to try and save someone at 5 HP. And now they're gonna trickle in. This is not looking good for the Singe. The Singe is locked down. Cannot get out of the Camille ultimate no matter what. Gonna give up a shutdown. And then again, now Diana's gonna get in there. Gonna be able to chunk out, I believe it's 2? 2. The flash forward. Jin auto attack for 3/4 of Aphelios' health, but he's gonna get stunned. Oh, Diana just in time there to save his life. Wow, quick turnaround from both sides, but it looks like master level player is gonna come out ahead on that one with the Hecarim trying to pick up this dragon at the same time. I think he's gonna get spotted out. Nope, definitely not. Gonna get killed. Oh, he juked it. Oh, he was trying to do enough damage to secure it, but not enough. Gonna secure another dragon on the side of MLP.
I think one of the big reasons why AE is falling behind here is that Hecarim is single-handedly just sort of throwing the game here. I think he needs to slow down, maybe establish his mental game in terms of realizing he needs to not be so aggressive, realize he can't be anywhere on or past the river, just so that he can slow things down. Again, the support, the Braum hasn't really established a lot of really great vision either.
Shouldn't get jumped on, but it looks like Alistair is doing exactly what you need to do as a support. He's going to sacrifice himself regardless to peel and possibly save his AD carry. Alistair literally tanking 1v3. Jin, you better send this guy something nice for Christmas because, oh boy, this guy doing work in here.
A little bit of an awkward play there from the Jin, deciding to pop that ult within about 10,000. Oh, we're fighting again.
Oh my good. No, there's no fighting. That's business as usual. That's business as usual for the Hecarim right now. Oh, the stun? Is she going to try and pick it up? Oh, Camille. You know what I want to say right now? This Camille is actually doing a pretty good job getting herself back into the game.
Yeah, she's doing a really great job buying the right items. That double Doran's is, I think, effective. I mean, I definitely scoffed at that earlier.
Oh! Now, okay, Singe is getting a little out of hand, guys. Singe is getting a little out of hand. You have, oh, the trade back. A little overdive. I think they were not on the same page there because 2 of them were outside the turret.
Yeah, I don't know what the communication was there on that. Jin definitely didn't want to go in.
Oh, there's the ultimate pop. Gonna get the fling. Gonna get the poison damage. Hecarim, as you said, basically just tilted. Tilted.
I think he's definitely tilted. I mean, he just needs to. This is a really big part of League of Legends that affects not only iron or bronze players, but master level players, making sure that not only your mechanics are on point and your game knowledge is on point, but also your mental is on point. He is just taking fights that he shouldn't be, isn't realizing what his win conditions are, who's accelerating on the map. He is doing a great job providing vision.
Ooh, huge Heroes entrance in, gonna get the knockup, gonna pick up the Jhin, which is very important for them. And now Alistar is just kind of a trivial thing to pick up, but what can they do with this? They look like they're pinging for Baron.
Yeah, they do have pretty good Baron clear. They are moving their way over there.
And the Aurelia is going to sneak that Scuttle Crab so they can secure some kind of vision here. Possible that her and Diana try to fight this to at least dissuade them from taking this. The double stun going to land in there, but they're not taking it very fast at all.
Yeah, the Singed is on the backside of that, so he is walking up slowly.
Exhaust going down pretty early onto Diana. Oh, sorry, onto the Aurelia. But a huge cluster fight there. Oh my god. Tons of people dying instantly. Singe gonna get him. But Galio's gonna flash out over the wall. Is he gonna live? Is he gonna live? What are we saying? Yes, no?
I think he dies.
Oh, and the dash picks him up after his punch. Riot, please, spaghetti code.
I think that was a really great sacrifice from Diana there, going in, getting the triple man QRE combination, essentially a self-Orianna ult.
Singe just straight up pushing his luck this whole time. Pushing his luck. Oh, you know what? When a scrub like me plays Singed, okay, and something like that happens and I go, Alistar picked up a kill. You know, something like that happens to me. I'm like, all right, cool. And then when I see somebody at this level do it, I go, happens to him too.
Yep. And one thing I think that also happens at this level that I really want to make an important note on is that Braum's vision score is still less than that of Hecarim's.
Yes.
So I mentioned it maybe 15 or 10 minutes ago, just in terms of slowing the game down. Part of that is to figure out where the enemy is and to not go anywhere near them. And so it just shows the inability for AE to slow this game down. Starts at the vision level, starts at the level of support, and really that's a really important role. And so I think master level players here are doing a great job, on the other hand, providing these aggressive wards inside of the enemy jungle. Every time they take a fight and they're on their way out, they're leaving these wards, leaving these places of vision so that they can go and Diana, Irelia, the Alistar Jhin combo can try and find a pick. Especially with teleports coming up, they're also going to be able to draw these fights into the jungle, again pushing their aggressive playstyle forward in order to end this game sooner than later.
You are right. I mean, it's like you said, effective warding. Oh, Camille gonna immediately jump onto this Jhin. They didn't see her coming around, apparently. Gonna get almost chunked out, gonna get knocked up. Everyone's in. There's a fling going out. Jhin is gonna fall. And next you have Didano getting picked up. And it looks like, Felio's too close. Gonna get killed. Camille doing a lot of work in this fight. Finally gonna get, whoa, that was really high up. Aurelia's gonna die. But Alistar, I don't see Alistar getting another kill here. Quadra kill by the Camille as we were talking about it. Camille coming back. Double Norans. You're laughing at her in the top lane. She has 13 kills now. This is insane.
Part of it is the hubris from the Singed as well. Taking fights, I think, around the 18-minute mark that he shouldn't have. Just by himself. I mean, there's aggressive and then there's sacrificial and stupidity. I think he needed to pump his brakes, wait for his team to show up, realize that the Camille is online and ready to fight. 13 kills up now from a huge deficit. She's still 50 CS behind the Singed, but with 13 kills, I mean, she is a threat. She is going to kill your Jhin. She's going to kill your Diana and Irelia. And so I think what master level players need to do here is essentially look for that 5v5 without that trickle. That dragon fight, I think, on their side was really messy. And so around this Baron fight, I think they're going to I think they need to just set up here, and it looks like they're grouping. It looks like they're getting ready to just say, hey, okay, enough nonsense. Let's group up. Let's look for a fight.
Alistar with flash headbutt. Yeah, Alistar going in, but as you said, who's there, right? We always tell people who's going to follow up. I don't think he was really thinking about that because he blew his flash there to
look going for the
Pulverize.
insect Alistar play with no one there to help him out. And so now he's down a really big summoner on Alistar.
Okay,
out of time they're looking for a play. Well, unless
Braum
just steps up.
Braum wall. He is going to get flung back. That's going to be 1 for nothing. I mean, misplay on both sides, but...
Yeah, the Braum, big misplay there. If they're going to 5v5, he's a huge chunk of that front line, especially with that shield that he brings to the fight.
Oh, Camille freely pressuring underneath the tower. Hero's entrance going to jump in there. Oh, and there is a Zhonya's. Nice little stopwatch, but at the same time, red team here going to be able to pick up that Baron. Galio going to get caught out for that dive, and it looks like they're just going to get cleaned up. So instead of going to contest the Baron, they thought they could pick up 1 in mid, and then you're going to pay for it with 2 additional deaths. I don't know what the call was there.
That's a really game-breaking macro call there to go for the smaller objective, which was fine, but you got to execute on it, right? Like if you're going to go mid, you're going to get the pick, you're going to get the tower, you know, your first tower of the game, go and do it. But they just completely flopped, and now we're looking at Baron on the side of master level players here.
Oh, Hecarim going in again, just on his E, hitting like a minion or something there. I mean, if you're team AE, what are you thinking right now? What are you thinking? How do we come back? How do we get these guys out of our base?
Oh, geez. Well, outside of thinking of just the next game.
Sorry, don't want to put you on the spot. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I mean, outside of thinking about the next game here, because I think that these guys are just way too far behind. It's clear that the Hecarim's mental is still fallen off this planet. He needs to, you know, everyone needs to just do the same thing. Dial it back. Look, there's still 3 items in. We still need to have vision on the side of Braum going out. He's still behind the Hecarim in terms of vision, despite the 12 deaths on Hecarim. They need to wait for their Aphelios to come online as well. I think what we're seeing here is a real lack of damage. You know, Camille is throwing out a lot, but outside of that, I mean, there really isn't enough damage here in order to get some kills on the board, which will allow them to pick up some objectives. So they need to be shoveling kills into the Aphelios. I think that's part of it. And the way that you do that is just, I mean, for the first and foremost, not going out and dying immediately upon revival.
Yeah, as you said, right now, if you take a look at that map, as you've been talking about for, you know, 10, 15 minutes, there are no wards. You got no vision on Team AE. You have no wards on the map. Oh, I'm sorry. If you click all the way up in the top there in that tri-brush in the top lane, there's 1 ward. Oh, and in their base, there's 2. So there's
like this
no effective vision.
Camille, though. Exactly. And I like this movement from Camille. Just, you know, with the lack of vision, it's like, okay, I'm ahead. I can probably draw 2 people here and maybe even win. So she's drawing pressure, delaying this Baron. That is the responsibility of someone.
There is a TP play coming in. They're going to spot it, but it looks like she's going to get closed on. Aurelia is going to get destroyed here, but Singe said, I'm out. Not even going to hang out. All right, man. That was a good call. It's a good call.
Really good call, and it stems from drawing that pressure up top. Because the Camille was up top, she drew the Jhin and the Alistar, which meant that any other master level player on the opposite side of the map is now on the weak side of the map. They need to back up. They need to realize that they're not going to have any support, and I think AE does a really good job in picking up that kill.
Oh, Hero's entrance coming in. Gonna get the knock-up. Alistair, singed. Oh, there's the Braum ultimate, gonna knock up the Jhin on the left there. But it looks like Galio's just gonna hand himself over. 2 falling down, 3 falling down. Singe chasing it out. Aphelios, no way out of there. Jin's gonna pick up the Aphelios, and that's gonna be 4 for 1.
We got technically some long death timers here. Technically. 30 seconds. Yep, 30 plus seconds on all of us. Teleport from Singed. Yeah, they're going to end.
Yeah, they're not worried about it. They're just going to walk up. Hey, aren't you the guy that died 12 times already? Let's just fling this guy out of here. Look at that. Singe basically just killed him without trying. So, not going to prove any threat here. Hecarim going to die again. And it looks like Team MLP going to pick up the first victory in this series. Oh, yeah, boy, oh boy.
great game to watch. I think in terms of the win conditions, they met theirs. They needed to play aggressively. They needed to push forward. They, aggressive warding, aggressive plays, a little bit too aggressive at times, but at least their head is in the right place in terms of figuring out what they needed to win and then executing on that. And so they did a really great job in the end, getting that really nice 5v fight or 5v5 fight, and able to just secure the game. I mean, that was it.
So if we're taking a look at this right now, we have to choose one, right? We have to choose somebody who did a really great job, whether they're on the winning or the losing team. Who do we think the MVP of this game is?
We talked about it a lot, and I think that Camille did a really good job in terms of coming back in the game despite the early losses. She did a really great job recovering from a terrible 5v5 fight down bottom, from a terrible situation where the Singed is able to pick up a kill at level 4. And so she did a really great job in terms of figuring out what she needs to do to win, making sure that those earlier losses doesn't affect her ability to mechanically outplay the Singed and pick up some key kills, roam around the map. In the end, drawing Baron pressure away from the map. I think she did a lot of damage as well. And so not only is she drawing pressure, trying to claw back for AE into the game, she did a really great job in terms of knowing what her role is, accelerating at that role, and really executing, I thought, pretty well.
Yeah, I think she did, like you said, a really good job, especially the way she started out the game and the amount of pressure that was actually getting applied to her to be able to turn it around. And I mean, if we're taking a look at it in the grand scheme of things, yes, she was the highest damage dealer on her team. But, obviously we're not talking about just damage alone to become the MVP. But what you mean as far as damage spread goes, it's her, Galio for the most part. And then Aphelios is pretty far behind. And then Hecarim, I mean, he did what you would expect, right? He did under 13K, which is not very high at all. When we're looking at when we're looking at like damage numbers, though, I'm actually pretty surprised considering the number of kills. First of all, on the Aurelia and on the Diana, they were only about 16K and 19K. So I understand like both of them kind of operate as assassins, but it was more or less very surprising to see that they didn't really do that much damage. I mean, Aphelios was behind most of the game, and he did the same damage as Aurelia. And Aurelia had a pretty good early laning phase. And as you said, with that first set of TPs to the bottom, she was able to get a few assists and get ahead of her laner. But it was one of those kind of who's translating what they have and their advantages to the mid game to the late game. And as we said, for the person who we're considering the MVP for this game, the Camille started off in a worse state than most people in the game and ended up probably doing, one of the best, if we're talking about as far as damage, contribution to her team, gold earned. She's actually second most or third most gold earned, just behind the Singed and the Jhin, who, we're going to be fair, had a really, really good early game because of, just one simple 5v5 fight. They got ahead pretty early. But I think being dumped on in the early game there, as she was, to be only 600 gold behind her laner at the end of the game when their team was, let me jump back up here real quick so I can see it. Their team was, how many thousand gold behind? 14K gold lead at the end of the game. So yeah, you're on the losing team and you have 600 gold less than the winning team's probably one of the highest performers. That's pretty good. And, as I was looking through like vision score and things like that, I was going to say, yeah, she did awesome in vision. She did do pretty good considering, I mean, the average warding score on her team was 9. If, you don't count the Braum. So she had 10 wards. So that was fine, but if you're going to look over, as you were saying, through most of the game and you check out MLP's side, if you look at the number of wards placed outside of the Singed, because Singed is just running around doing his stuff. If you take a look at this, you have 12 wards by the Aurelia, 13 by the Jhin. I'm going to point out that that's pretty decent for an 80 carry. 13 wards in a 30-minute game is pretty decent. Alistair with 26, Diana with 20. Like, those are pretty high vision. Not even vision score, just wards placed. And the number of control wards is pretty good considering. Like, even, and you look at it, Braum on the other team, and you said this, effective warding. Braum purchased 11 control wards. 11. And his vision score is lower than Diana's and Alistair's on the other team, and almost the same as Jin's. 11. That ward, literally, that means that ward sits there until someone kills it or you move it. And he had a lower vision score. And you mentioned this at, 10, 12 minutes into the game, and you said, hey, they need to start warding more effectively. Clearly, he's not putting the wards where the enemy are. They're not getting anything out of these wards. If you place 32 wards, the most in the game, 11 of them control wards, there's a problem with your warding.
Right. Like, what did you see? Why were the wards placed there? The intent and purpose of putting those wards down has to be established. And I think one thing that AE failed to do in order to realize what their win conditions are is to just slow down the game. And I think it was clear not only through the Hecarim, but through the Braum, that there was this lack of connection with what the ultimate goals were and how to establish that victory. And so it just goes to show that this fundamental thing of placing vision is, I think, instrumental in winning these types of games. When we look at the data, I just want to go back to a couple of the things that you had mentioned. On the side of master level players, you have almost an identical damage chart, right? Like, each individual person might have performed a little bit better, but it doesn't look like on the side of master level players, even though that they have double the amount of kills, almost double the amount of kills, they don't have double the amount of damage. And what that means is Irelia, Diana, and even Jhin are making sure that when they throw out 1,000 or 2,000 damage, that it sticks, that it nets a kill. And so there is no more damage to do. They're dead. So what I think needed to happen here for AE was, again, just slowing down the game, getting that vision out, saying, hey, guys, take a deep breath. Let's just get vision. Let's just stall, clear camps, Hecarim, push out the lanes, get them slow pushing, grab some CS where you can, don't die, push out some wards. And let's see if we can slow this down here. Give up the dragons. Sure, give up a Baron here and there. Camille's going to go roam up top. You guys just don't do anything. And if you can, pick up a safe kill. And I think they were doing that right towards the end. But they just grouped up for that Infernal. Let's look at the last thing that they did that ended up losing the game for AE. They were like, hey, let's group for Infernal. It's like, what? No, why? Go clear your camps. Grab up some more gold, get some more items in your pocket. This Camille is already popping off. We need to wait for the Aphelios to do it too, because at the end of the game, we see that he's just barely behind that Irelia in terms of damage. He should have been the second most, if not the most biggest damage dealer, with a comp like Galio, Braum, Hecarim in the front line, with Camille in the front line chasing people off. He needs to be able to come online and do some damage here. But that was missing. And so just a big macro level play, misplay on the side of AE. We do have some other games coming up with them.
We do have at least one, possibly two additional games that have them in it. And, we're going to see, as you were saying earlier, how they adapt, how they change, even how the game starts out. Because they could end up in a game where it starts out in a very similar way, and then maybe they were like, you know what, we should have done this the last game, and they actually make that adaptation that they need to get them through that mid game and to be able to secure a victory. I mean, I don't know, to be honest. I haven't gotten to watch the games, so I'm going to be watching them along with you. But I definitely want to say, we're going to give a little salute to the Camille for being the big winner on her, I guess, losing team at this point. And, trying to do what you do, putting people on your back, trying to carry the game. But Couple, like you said, it comes down to a few macro level plays, and even with the size of the goal lead and most of the game, you could see it was still competitive. It was still competitive, and it's like you said about knowing what your win condition is, knowing what you have to do to secure the victory, and if you don't play to that even once in the 30 minutes, if you want to call that the late game, that's spells the end for your team, and what allowed them to secure and break the base and get in there and win the game ends up being we go to Baron, they go to our mid turret, and then we come from Baron and clean them up.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean,
yeah, and it's definitely a team effort. It's not any one person. The Camille did excellent in terms of trying to slow that game down, drawing pressure away from these pressure points on the map. But Hecarim, Braum need to step it up, need to realize what their win conditions are, and play their role correctly in terms of delivering on that. Because whenever at this level, if you have just one weak link in the chain, that's where it's going to crumble. And if you have two, I mean, that's just giving you a real disadvantage here.
Oh wow, there are a bunch of people there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Where I was gonna say, where's the Gnar? The stun! The stun! The godlike stun, Ellie! Yes! Good route! Good route! Woo! Yes! Let's go! Let's go! Yeah! Let's go.
Silly game.
Let's go! Let's go! 4 kills, baby! 4 for 1! Well, Gun's in mid, all fed, jerking off. Like, do something, Gun. What are you doing?
That's right.
What are you doing?